Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got full rockin' my gun out there.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Oh, this hard goddamn work being this good.
One more again, see what I take on your front side, I swear.
You ain't my daddy, are you?
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
What time is it?
Game time proof.
Okay, welcome again to the Don't Be Blase podcast. We are coming to you live from the House of Pain, otherwise known as Snap Fitness in the Adelaide CBD. I'm your host, B. Karen Warner, joined as always by my man, Steve Burrows.
Hello.
Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Larry and Lad. Go see the boys in Region Arcade, get yourself an awesome coffee and listen to some pretty sweet tunes. But for now, on with the show. Now, this has been a cultural phenomenon happened over the last week. It's one of those events that brings a lot of people together, people from far and wide, and they all like to, get involved with something, and they all like to become a part of something big. Now, we're not talking about WrestleMania yet. We're talking about Lawn Chat. Lawn Chat has been going off this week, and so much so, Steve. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Big J, our man Big J, has provided the soundtrack for Lawn Chat. So, guys, if you could just hold for a second, we have entrance music for Lawn Chat.
Here it is, turd freaks. The moment you've been waiting for. It's time for Steve's Lawn Chat.
Now, I do have an issue with that. Why is it Steve's Lawn Chat? It should be Don't Be Blase's Lawn Chat.
Well, yeah, can you have lawn chat when you live in an apartment in eastern suburbs?
I feel like I brought this to the forefront. I brought this to the to the zeitgeist. I made it a thing. Well, we did. Well, but I just think, Steve and Spee, Anyway, Steve, update on the lawn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you sorted out the weeds?
No, I haven't, but thank you for all the advice, guys. That was really good. The feedback was sensational.
Yeah, you got a lot of people going in.
Yeah, they love that, and I was getting messages and everything, man.
We're getting a lot of mixed reviews on the Santa Ana.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It's a very. I've been told by my man Lowell the other day. He goes, "Well, tell Steve, it's a shit lawn in winter."
It's polarizing. It's a polarizing lawn.
Yeah.
People
it's
like
the John Cena of lawns.
Yeah, that's right. Look, it's beautiful lawn. In winter, you're right. It's dormant.
Yep.
Does not much happen. So that was it was always my race this summer is to get that lawn down before winter. Because if you get it good for winter, then it will look nice. There will be the sour sobs will probably come through.
Yeah.
And which I've been told, if I paint the sour sobs with poison, that will get rid of them.
I'll paint them. Just get the brush out there.
With a little brush.
Arts and crafts.
Yeah, arts and crafts. That's right. So apparently, but otherwise, yeah. So, but when it looks good, it is primo, and it's what they use on golf courses, which is ultimately what I'm going for.
You just have a little putting green out the front.
A little putting green out the front.
Just
a bit
trying
of
to
chipping out the back.
Get the little man out the front. Just trying to teach him be like Tiger's dad.
Yeah, that's right.
Get a club in his hand from a young age, and hopefully he can ride you to start.
Yeah, well, my dreams are over, so I'm starting putting in my kids,
Start living vicariously.
Yeah.
I think Jonah's could have a bit of dance mums in her. I think she's one step away from getting on there.
I should love that. But speaking of which, my little daughter started karate.
There we go.
I'm very excited about that on Wednesday night.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
She's got the little white belt. She's got the little outfit.
She's a little belt. But it was funny because we signed her up because it was a deal. I've wanted to get her into karate for a long time, and the local karate place at our way set out a deal. $29, 5 sessions, and you get a free gi.
Well, there you go. Free gi.
Yeah,
$29.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll get in for that.
Yeah, so we did the first session, and Sophia loved it. Besides the big full shit at the end, and ended in tears. But when I was chatting to the fella at the end, he goes, "Oh, do you know about the fees?" And I said, "No." Thinking in my head, $29 for 5.
Yeah.
5 lessons. How much could it be? Pulls out the paper. It turns out $36 a fortnight.
There you go.
For 2 sessions. That's $18 a session. Also, I'm like, Sophia, enjoy these 5 sessions. We're trying something different afterwards. I'm going to look for these. That's what we're going to do. We're going to look for all the deals.
Yeah.
And I might get through her childhood.
Well, that's right. I've got a friend that does that. She scams all the, she's an absolute scammer. Steph's a scammer. But she scams her way through F-45s. So they always do the 2-week trials. And she sort of travels a lot as well. She has uni. So she only has time. You know, some people that only work out for a couple of weeks a year. So but then she'll just go from one to the other, scam all her 2-week trials, and then be like, all right, I'm done with it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, then wait for them to start dishing out trials again because that's what gyms do. If you hit them up enough,
Suckers.
they'll always give you free trials.
Yeah.
But now we will get into the big topic
Yeah, okay.
because wrestling has been a bit of a polarizing topic on this show. But I think me and Steve may actually be in agreement for this one. So, Steve, just give you said you've had a few things, you've got a few things you want to oh, jeez, that was a heavy sigh. A few things you want to get off your chest as it turns to WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania. Well, first thing I need to let you know, because you wouldn't understand this.
Okay.
All right, when you're a married man with 2 kids,
Yep.
it took me 4 nights to watch WrestleMania.
Oh, right. Nice.
Yeah, I get about an hour and a half each night.
Well, see, when you're a personal trainer and you only work split shifts and like people come in here and there, me and Jared just pulled the laptop out the back room here.
You watched it from start to finish or
Oh,
something?
in between clients. We just came in, watched the
Brilliant.
match, went out, trained people, came back, watched a couple more matches. It was great.
Well, between giving the kids the baths and dinner and putting them to bed and, just being a husband, I got to watch it over.
Yeah.
So I finally wrapped it up last night.
Yeah.
So, it was a bit broken. I couldn't really get into it emotionally. But I did want to tell you this, Speed. Because it kind of goes back to what we were talking about a little while ago. This independent wrestlers, even in this big... I cannot stand it. I really cannot stand is that Seth Rollins, who's the guy they wrestled with?
Seth Rollins.
The Miz, the Finn Balor.
Yeah, that was the first match.
And I was so angry at the first match straight away because they did this shitty little indie thing that they do, and you see it all the time. The first match usually gets the pace, it usually gets the show off to good. And they did this shitty little switching reverse roll up pin thing. Yeah. And one would do it, and then the other one would do it exactly the same, and you're like, come on, man. And they kick out in 2, which bothers me as well, because that same kick out in 2 is when they get pile drived off the top rope through a table with fire and flame, fucking nails and shit, and they'll kick out the same 2. Yeah. And that got me off to a bad start.
Okay, so you're already on the back foot.
Back foot. However, Triple H, Ronda Rousey, and the other 2, Kurt Angle and Steph. I thought that definitely exceeded my expectations. Yep. I thought that was very good for what it was. Yep. Definitely the highlight for me of WrestleMania.
There you go.
I thought Undertaker and John Cena, I didn't think they pulled that off.
Didn't need to be there. To be honest with you, I was very disappointed with that. Like, this is John Cena who does everything for you, and I know he's just doing it to be... just
he's been a company guy.
He's been a company guy. He's been an Undertaker guy. He's just being a good bloke. Yeah. He's just gone in there and like, fuck it, whatever. Because he's off now. He's going to make movies for a bit. So he didn't really need anything substantial for himself. But I just didn't like the fact that it went for 2 minutes 34 seconds.
Yeah, he got squashed.
I like the setup with the false hope with Elias coming out. I like that whole gimmick. They did that really well. I don't think he needed to beat up Elias. I think that made it a bit. I think that was, we can show that Cena gets his shit in, and then Undertaker just basically came and got his shit in, and then it was like, So it was, it worked in theory.
In theory, that's right.
But it didn't really work in practice. I'm going to go back, though, back onto the Ronda Rousey match.
Oh, yep.
That was, like I said, not only above what I thought it was going to be, that was so impressive. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there was a few bits where Ronda was clumsy. It's going to be like, okay, none of you guys listening, probably not many of you guys have ever had a wrestling match, and everyone thinks of it and goes, it's pretending to fight, whatever, it's not that hard. Yeah, you be in front of like 10 friends and try to put on an entertaining match. That's tough. Our first match, mine was in front of, 500 people, 600 people, and my first match was pretty well choreographed too. Like, that was the thing, like I was 17, and we organised this thing at training, and we tried to practice through this little 8-minute match. And I was still nervous, and I didn't really look at the crowd. But you try doing your debut in front of 72,000 people. Yeah. You've got cameras on you, you've got millions of people watching you. And it's a very tough thing to do, because there's a very fine line between that's the hard thing with wrestling. You sort of, if you're out there fighting, you're just out there throwing, doing your best, whatever happens. With wrestling, you almost have to guarantee that it looks good, because that's the selling point of wrestling. Fights can't always guarantee that they're going to be awesome to watch. Yeah. And same with other sports and stuff like that. But with this, it's almost like theatre. You've got to hit it out the park, even though it's a very aggressive thing. So a couple of things were a bit clumsy. But the best thing I saw all night was when she started unloading those punches on Triple H in the corner.
Yeah.
That was
good.
the highlight of WrestleMania for me
Yeah.
because the way he sold it, it was so believable because it was just like, shit, fuck, you know, like, he had his arms up and she's just working the body. She was like, unloading on his face, he'd be like, come on now. But because she just kept working those punches to the body and stuff like that she did earlier to Steph, it looked great. And it just got her over, and I think it was absolutely perfect.
It was, and I was watching it, and the wife was on the computer at the time, and she actually turned around for this one.
Yeah.
She actually is like, well, now I'm interested in this, which was great. And I said, oh, no, she's got Triple H and the armbar. I said, he's going to tap. And she goes, no, that would be stupid. He can't tap. She should do it to Steph, and, you know, and she called her, man. That's how it went. So, you know, kudos to Jonah for calling it. But no, it was good. I think that's because the old heads, Triple H and Kurt Angle, might have had a bit more influence on the match.
But that was the thing. They set her up perfectly.
Yeah.
Going, she's going to be a big draw. She's going to be a big star. She is a big star.
Yeah, she is.
You need to, you know, kid glove these people and, you know, help them through. And that's what those old guys are there for.
Okay, shit on the rest of it, though?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
I skipped over a couple matches. I didn't even watch the Randy Orton match.
They didn't miss much there. It was just a 4-way spot.
Yeah.
It was good. Like, they had the good... The problem is they had the good characters in that match.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of 4-ways anyway.
Yeah,
so.
no. Then I watched, I think, the tag match, the Strowman, and he got the kid in there, which that was really disappointing.
The only thing that made that match was entertaining was when they tagged the kid in.
Yeah.
And the kid just gets in
Tagged
the ring
him.
and tags him straight away.
That was
That was like the only spot from that
Yeah.
match I actually enjoyed. The rest of it, I was just like,
Yeah. The Daniel Bryan thing. Oh God.
They I don't know. That one just didn't. They flattened the crowd out.
Yeah,
the
they
crowd
did.
was so excited for it.
Yeah.
And then they injure him and have him rest for 8 minutes. It's like, well,
Yeah.
you just took the crowd right out of it. And you got to remember, this is a long show.
Yeah.
So people didn't want to get back up for it.
No.
And then you can actually see a turning point in the entire show. From the moment Daniel Bryan goes down and they try to get him back in, and he does all the cool stuff, and he was back 100%.
Yeah.
And I do like Daniel Bryan, but it was just like the crowd had flattened out, and then you could see it carried through to the next few matches. The crowd just like, we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
We're done. Well, I mean, and can I say this, Spear, as well? It's just another one. You know, I feel like when I watch people like Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor, even AJ Styles and those guys, to me, and that match was half okay. I'm going to say only half okay.
Nakamura and
Nakamura,
AJ.
that was half okay.
I didn't enjoy it as much because I had very high hopes for that.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't enjoy it that much.
The intros were great.
Yeah, Nakamura's entrance
that was really cool.
The highlight,
but to me, it stops about there. To me, I feel like if these guys trained in our old days in our Monster Factory, they wouldn't do half the shit they do today because old man Cole would have been like, nah, do it again.
Yeah.
And they would have given up.
Yeah.
Because when I see things like Daniel Bryan charging and do that fucking, that kick thingy in the corner,
The drop kick,
then he lands on his head.
Yeah.
Cole would be like, nah, do it again,
Yeah.
because it looks dreadful.
Yeah.
When AJ Styles does that Pele kick,
Yeah.
it seems to me like, in theory, they got these good ideas. Oh, you're going to be spectacular if I do this. And they did it, and it's like your old thing. They go, good enough is fine.
Near
That's
enough's good enough.
That's right. And that's to me, all this shit looks messy. All this shit looks like it hasn't been perfected.
My issue is any move where you watch the move finish and then you go, okay, who's the recipient of that one?
Yeah.
That's where I'd sort of check out with a lot of these new moves. And stuff like that.
So to me, I can't get into those guys because I'm always going, that looked ugly. That looked messy.
Well then how did you feel on the heavy hitting main event with the two big guys?
All right, so
Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
Look, I think the crowd straight away was not into the match. It was like the old Lesnar Goldberg match. You know, they think Lesnar's going, so they're booing him.
Yeah.
No one likes Roman Reigns, so they give a fuck about him.
Yeah.
I think they just had...
They were very excited for the beach ball they were hitting around the crowd.
Yeah, that's right. I think they was pushing shove hill, that match.
Yeah.
I don't think the audience was ever going to get into it properly. And I hated the fact that Roman Reigns kicked out of so many moves.
Oh, there was like 6 or 7 F5s. It was it just got to the stage it was just pick up, F5, pin, kick out at 2. Pick up, F5, pin, kick out at 2. It was just like, this is getting laborious.
They were trying to, I guess, so when he comes back, everyone thinks, oh, he's going to win, and then they did the double cross.
Yeah.
But the thing is now, who the fuck is going to legitimately beat Roman Reigns up? He can take 5 F5s now.
Exactly, yeah.
Who can beat him clean now?
No.
Who can beat him even if they put him through a table?
No.
Who can beat... It's just...
Except for Brock.
Who approved this shit, man? This is the problem. Everyone thinks that, 5-hour show, everyone kicks out of everyone's finishes.
Yeah.
it ruins it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
It ruins it for the next pay-per-view. I just like, who greenlights this shit, man? You know, it really bothers me, man. So WrestleMania for me was a shit, dismal failure.
Yep.
Especially after seeing people like Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, which was so cool a couple of years ago and whatever it was. You know, like, for this one, it was just a big pile of steaming shit.
There you go.
And I'm really disappointed. And now I'm off WWE until Royal Rumble next year.
Let them know what you really think, Steve. Don't hold back. I will agree with some of it. I wasn't that disappointed. I was a little bit more underwhelmed. You know, and like, it was one of those things where I don't have that higher hopes going into wrestling shows these days. So I did have high hopes going into Nakamura and AJ. So I was a little bit disappointed with that one. I didn't really like the heel turn at the end either. The main event, I liked the last time they did the main event. Because I thought if they did what they did at this Mania, at the last one where they wrestled each other, that would have made more sense. You know what I mean? Like, because in that one, it was, you know, like, it was, can he beat, you know, because Roman was still getting sort of pushed as in the main guy.
Yeah.
If he'd been beaten then, and then it was like, fuck, he has to wait, you know, he has to earn his way back to fight Brock again, it would have made more sense, you know what I mean? Whereas they've done it now, even though they don't have Brock to play it off with later, it's kind of just like up in the air. It's a bit, I don't know, it was a bit weird. I didn't really enjoy, like I said, didn't enjoy the main event. The last half of the show I really didn't enjoy. Basically, after Rousey and Triple H, everything else after that, I was kind of like, no, that should have been better.
Yeah.
But I think you've criminally missed what I thought was the best match at WrestleMania. And it was one of those ones where I didn't have a lot of hope for it, which is why I loved it. Charlotte Flair and Asuka.
Oh, yeah, Charlotte Flair. Big Charlotte Flair fan.
Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah.
That, to me, I mean, it's like, without just taking the obvious card of the fact that one's a Flair and one's Asian, it felt like Flair Steamboat. Just the intensity they had in it, you know, and the story they told, you know, and like, it wasn't a whole bunch of flippy shit, you know, like, they did do the Spanish Fly thing, but, you know, it was like the one that's sort of like the martial arty one that throws the kicks, and some of them aren't the prettiest looking kicks, but, you know, it was really physical and they were really hitting the shit out of each other, but it was just, they told that really good story, you know, and like, Asuka keeps going for that armbar, keep trying to work on her shoulder, you know, and then Charlotte finally pulls out the figure 4 into the figure 8, but she can only do it on one arm. Like, I just thought that was really, really well done because, like I said, I haven't watched a lot of WWE recently, and without sounding really mean, I don't watch a lot of women's wrestling.
Yeah.
But that was just, they really won me over. Now Charlotte Flair's got the biggest fan in the world here because I just thought that match and the way they told that story was just absolutely brilliant. And I think those girls actually won WrestleMania for me.
Yeah. And I was surprised with the ending.
Yeah. Exactly. Those things, one of those ones I couldn't, like, I thought, Asuka's like undefeated and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, where are they going to go with it? Because I haven't been watching, so I don't know the storylines.
No.
And so to sit there and just watch it and just to be genuinely like I was genuinely for their false finishes, like, oh shit, like I thought it was going to be done after the moonsault. She caught the armbar of the moonsault. Oh, this is over. And then it was like, oh no, so if you can win me over like that, then you've got me.
Yeah.
So that's a big thumbs down for you for WrestleMania.
Yeah, very disappointed. No,
that's all right. Well, I'm just going to say that the Ring of Honor show with Cody and Kenny Omega, that did very, very well. So, you know, it's one of those things. They're starting to create the alternative to WWE, so you might have some stuff to watch. I know it's full of indie guys that you can't stand, but I'm saying you might eventually have some other stuff to watch.
Okay.
But we are going to move on. We're going to move on from wrestling. We're going to talk about... Oh, jeez.
I'm over wrestling.
That's all right. No, we're going to talk about... Well, you brought it up, so don't get on my case. But we're going to talk about the NBA.
Yes.
Now, we did a show where we did some predictions. It was post-AFL Grand Final, so Steve was a little bit salty. But... It turns out Salty Steve, very, very clever, because we're going to run down here. We're going to run down through our playoff teams from our NBA season. Now, I had in the West, Warriors, Spurs, Rockets, OKC, T-Wolves, Blazers, and then I got 2 wrong. I thought the Grizzlies and the Nuggets were going to make it. Nuggets missed by a game. Grizzlies missed by a whole bunch of games. Right. And then we got down the East. I had Cavs, Celtics, Wizards, Raptors, 76ers, Bucks, Heat, and once again, Hornets.
Yeah.
Terrible call.
Nah, terrible.
So who did I miss there in that one?
Hornets.
East. Yeah, Hornets is off, but who is the one that made it?
Hornets and
Pacers. Yeah, Pacers came out of nowhere and won. So Steve in the East had exactly the same as me. So once again, Hornets wrong.
Yeah.
Pacers right. But Steve in the West, Steve was on fire. He had Warriors, Spurs, Rockets, OKC, Pelicans, T-Wolves, Blazers, and also like me had Memphis Grizzlies. They were just abysmal.
Yeah, that obviously Connolly.
But yeah,
not playing for a lot
admittedly,
of
we didn't. obviously didn't foresee the wonder kid that was Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I just love the chemistry that the Utah Jazz have.
Yeah.
The two teams I'm really sort of rooting for. Obviously, I support a LeBron team.
Yeah.
But the two teams I really want to do well this playoff series, and I'm looking forward to, are the 76ers and the Jazz.
Okay.
Purely because, like I said, obviously, I love my Instagram. I'm a big social media guy. You can just tell the camaraderie with those teams. You know, and like they're posting photos with each other, you know, and ask my brother, this and that, you know, and like there's a long going sort of like, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like punch each other rivalry between like Joe Ingles and Donovan Mitchell. You can just tell like that's his rookie. He's looking after him, and you can feel the team. You know, and like you look at like OKC, it's Westbrook. Like I said, fucking Westbrook boxed out Melo yesterday to try to get his triple double rebounds. Like fuck off, mate. But you see, they're a bunch of individuals like, we're going to win a championship. Why? Oh, because we're
the
better.
best.
Yeah.
Right,
It's like, no, I don't think you can get past Utah because Utah's like, right, Rubio's going to deliver the ball, Mitchell's going to score the ball, Joe Ingles is going to do everything in between, and then Rudy Gobert's going to protect the paint. Everyone has their role. Everyone's part of that team. Everyone's focused on the team goal.
Yeah, that's right.
OKC's like, oh, fucking, we're going to do it individually, bro.
That's right, yeah.
And the thing is, the 76ers have the same thing. You know, and like Embiid went down, so it was like, oh shit, they're going to be in trouble here. But then fucking rattled off another 7-8 games in a row win streak.
Yeah.
They finally reintroduced Markelle Fultz when everyone could have in their right mind gone, fuck this kid, you know, number one pick in the draft. He was mentally out of it. Nah, they all rallied behind him, and he came back and got a triple double last game of the season.
Oh, there you go.
You know, and like, and then you see the way that they're all coming together. I just love, you know, like I like the team dynamic, and I think they're going to be two teams that are very exciting to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Utah was super hot coming into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, Philadelphia were there like 15-game winning streak, 16.
Yeah,
it was like a franchise
14
record.
14 to, oh no, 15 I think.
Yeah, I think it was a franchise record or close to one. I watched Philadelphia versus Cavs, or at least the second half.
Oh,
but
that
anyway,
was a great game.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me about it is that, you know, one, they blew a 30-point lead.
Yeah.
And two, it shows that Cleveland, in the old Jordan tape, you know, Jordan used to say about playing against Celtics.
Yeah.
Because it didn't matter how much we were up by, Celtics knew they were going to win.
Yeah.
He goes, we were young, they were solid, and they would just peg us back.
That's history repeating.
Exactly.
There,
and Cleveland's the same, man. Philadelphia, they scored 70 points in the first half or something like that. And then but LeBron's like, hey, guys, we're right. And then you can see Philadelphia, they started not folding exactly, but
I
you know.
noticed that a lot this year watching a few Cavs games. It always seemed in the first half, LeBron's like, all right, get you involved. Okay, try to get the team going, try to get everyone going. Cool, no worries. Second half, all right, fucking give me the ball.
You also give me the ball. That's right.
But he always tries to get everyone involved. So I think that's obviously what he did there.
Yeah, he's had a big game. He scored 40-something
41, had 10 boards, 10 assists. I mean, Benny had
10
his...
turnovers.
Yeah, he didn't. But Ben had his 28 or whatever, but he had the...
he had triple doubles,
15 boards and like 13 assists.
Yeah, big game.
His passing, like we talked about in our previous show, we were just excited to watch him play.
Yeah.
Now, after seeing a whole season of him, he would be most people's top 10 players in the league right now.
Not enough to get All-Star.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to fucking go all in, okay? Because I've had a couple of arguments with people. The whole, who should win Rookie of the Year, Donovan Mitchell or Ben Simmons? Motherfucker, if you're going to say Ben Simmons can't be Rookie of the Year because he was drafted the year before, even though he didn't play a single game, he was injured, he didn't play the whole season, so he...
Didn't Blake Griffin...
Blake Griffin did the same thing.
Yeah.
Larry Bird didn't play the season he was drafted.
Okay.
David Robertson spent 3 years in the Navy after he was drafted.
Yeah.
No one has a problem with them winning Rookie of the Year. If Embiid had played more than 30 games last year, everyone was happy for him to be Rookie of the Year, and he was drafted 3 years before that. But it's just because Donovan Mitchell's had a great year this year. It was like, no, you can't give it to Ben Simmons because he's not a real rookie. Okay, then why the fuck was he not in the All-Star team?
Yeah.
Because the big knock was he couldn't be an All-Star. They wouldn't put him in the All-Star game because he was a rookie.
Right.
All right, make up your fucking mind. You can't have it both ways, okay? And that goes to especially that fucking Kyle Lowry. Cannot stand that fat bastard. Tried to get in his face one time.
Yeah.
Oh, he got in Ben Simmons' face one time. Like, oh, I'm going to take you outside. But it was like, mate, fuck off. You're like 5'10" and fat. You know, like Ben Simmons is 6'.
Hey, whoa.
You're 5'7", mate. He's it's just like, oh, mate, you need to piss off. You need to, you know. he was just like, to me, the whole fight looked like Foghorn Leghorn and the Chicken Hawk.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's like, I see, go away, boy, you're bothering me.
Oh, that's a good little impersonation.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the same. I'm so excited to see Philadelphia. I couldn't believe it because it was halfway through the season. I thought they let it go. I thought they were like, oh no, they're struggling to stick around. You know, I was
But
a
the
bit
thing is,
concerned.
they got a couple of those, those mid-season contract buyouts, and they get in some free agents.
Right.
Trading out, finally getting rid of the mess that was Jalil Okafor, and bringing in Ilyasova and Bellinelli. Bellinelli especially just gave him another shooter because it was pretty much like JJ's our shooter, and that's all we got.
Yeah.
They have Covington, who's I like Covington because he's in the J.R. Smith mold. He's a bit of a chucker. But he's going to hit 5 threes or he's going to miss all of them.
Yeah.
Then they've also got Saric, who's, he's good. He's not a great 3-point shooter. He's like Dan Marley. He's like,
Okay.
he's going to hit some, but you
yeah.
wouldn't you're not setting your clock to it. You're not 100% certain every time he throws it up.
Yeah.
Whereas guys like Bellinelli and guys like, JJ, if they've got an open look, you think it's going to go in more often than you think it's not. You know what I mean? So that's where I think they've added that as well.
Yep.
And like I said, just that team chemistry.
Yeah.
Just the way that they love playing together. It helps that when your star player, like Ben Simmons is an unselfish guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's always looking to pass first. And you can just see the havoc it's causing on the court because you have to watch every passing lane because he's going to fit a ball through there. And if you start looking at your lanes too much, he's dunking it on you. You know?
I know. Just imagine when he gets a jump shot, though, or hopefully he gets a jump shot. He's a funny, he's going to have a funny jump shot style. But once he does that,
Well, Magic never had a jump shot coming in.
Magic,
Magic,
he had a shocking style.
he had that set shot that he developed later in his career, shooting those threes, but it ended up working.
It's a different game, though, man.
But if he can get some sort of set shot going or something, as soon as he picks up his game from the foul line, then he'll be, he'll be good money.
I can't wait. I'm excited. So, what do you think? What's the breakdown? Do you want to go through it? Or?
Well, what we'll do is we'll break down through we'll quickly just run through who you've got MVP.
I'm gonna say Harden. They won 65 games. He scored 30 plus. He had 10 assists a game. It's hard to go against him, man. Whether I like him or not, it's irrelevant. I'm gonna put him as the MVP.
Yep. And who have you got for Rookie of the Year then?
Ben Simmons. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go Ben Simmons.
Say, don't argue with me, mate.
No, actually.
Most improved.
I don't
This is a
know.
toughie.
That's hard, man. I don't know.
Because the one that I think is consensus most improved, and it's one of those ones you kind of go, oh shit, yeah, Victor Oladipo.
Oh shit for Indiana.
Yeah, remember he was thrown in. He was like part of the extra trade in for the Paul George thing, and he took them to the playoffs.
Dude, Andy, he had some monster games this year. Definitely not. Yep. Sorry. Yep.
So you got him, and then Coach of the Year. This is the tough one.
Well, once again, I don't know. You always look at teams that struggled last year and did well this year, or the team that just flat out wins the most games. I like Brett Brown, Philadelphia. They got 52 wins this year. Mm-hmm. That's huge.
That is
52
big,
fucking wins, man. Like, that's amazing. So
from a team that's won like maybe 52 in the last 3 years combined.
Oh, yeah. So I like Brett Brown. Plus, he coached the Boomers and he coached the Sydney Kings or some shit back in the day or something. But yeah, that's cool. There's that Australian connection.
Yeah,
so
I do like the Australian connection. Well, because I've got the same rundown. Harden will win MVP. I like I said, you can make an argument for LeBron.
Oh, of course.
But with his
in the
team
conversation.
finishing fourth, as opposed to Harden's team finishing first, you've got to give it to Harden. He's got the video game numbers. It's one of those things. As much as I love LeBron, and it's one of those things. Everyone knows LeBron's the best player in the league.
No one's doubting that.
But
it's a difference, man.
Season, it's like saying that they couldn't just give it to Jordan every year.
Yeah.
Even though everyone knew Jordan was the best player, you can't just give it to LeBron every year, even though everyone knows LeBron's the best player.
That's right.
But then, Ben for Rookie of the Year, and I will fight anyone that disagrees. Most improved is going to Oladipo.
Yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to give to Gobert.
Oh, okay.
For the Jazz.
Yeah.
He's been it's between him and Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis missed too many games to me. Like, I had him in my fantasy team. Trust me, he missed a lot of fucking games. Like, he did score a lot of points, but he missed a lot of games. And then for Coach of the Year, it is kind of hard to go past like someone like a Brett Brown, or But then you think Mike D'Antoni for taking that Rockets team that everyone thought was going to be it was what, at the start of the year you weren't certain that the Rockets were going to be a great team or not. You know what I mean?
I think actually they're the exactly words I said in the podcast 6 months ago. I think they're going to be a great team.
Yeah.
No, they look. I mean, 65 wins in any in any season is
Yeah.
amazing. But they definitely got better
Yep.
than last year.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair to say? Obviously,
I think it's fair to say, but yeah. So
65 wins
I
a
think,
lot.
usually the team that has the best record, and especially because they stepped up, maybe I think 10 wins from the year before, that's going to put him over the line. It's always like I said, as much as you like the story, like I said, the story of Brett Brown taking the Sixers from nothing to something.
Yeah.
You also want to, they're going to reward Mike D'Antoni.
Well, it's funny you say that because George Karl won Coach of the Year about 5 years ago and then got sacked that summer. So, there's 9 coaches going to say that, and the Coach of the Year was one of them. So.
George Karl is like almost noted as like the most hated former coach of all time. But we're going to run through our playoff seedings, Steve.
Yep.
So what I need you to do is give me your winner for each season or each round and the games that they're going to win it in.
All right.
Okay, we'll start off in the West.
Yeah.
You can start off with the number 1 seed, Houston Rockets, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, who got in on the last day of the season.
I'm going Houston. I'm thinking, is it going to be a sweep or Minnesota might get one? 4-0 or 4-1.
4-0, 4-1.
Yeah.
Not bad. All right, moved down to 2-7, which is so bizarre to say. 2-7, Golden State Warriors and San Antonio Spurs.
Once again, it sucks because I don't think Steph's going to play. If
Yeah.
Steph was playing, it'd be a straight sweep.
Yep.
I think Spurs may get one.
Yep.
But still, Spurs
4-1.
suck.
Yeah, they're not great this year.
But, and Golden State haven't had a good run into the playoffs either. But I think, good teams, they're good for a reason. I know Steph's missing, and he's obviously, as good as Durant is, and he's another one.
He's the straw that stirs the drink.
Yeah, exactly.
They showed us that today on the herd. Your favourite, your mate Colin Coward. But it's just an interesting stat because that's one of the things they bring up a lot. The Warriors are 20-0 with Steph and no KD, and they're I think 12-8 with KD, no Steph.
Yeah.
So it does prove that Steph is the driving force in that team.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say as
So
one sided.
4-1-5,
Yeah, definitely 4-1.
Gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, that's right.
Moving on to the Pelicans and the Blazers.
That's gonna be a tough series, but Portland played very well. New Orleans was just one. They actually all ended up with the same record, pretty much, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Portland just seemed a bit more impressive. I'm gonna give them in 6, 4-2.
Ooh, Blazers in 6, yeah. Not bad.
And then there's other one.
OKC and the Jazz. Now, this is the one I'm looking forward to seeing the most. I think this is going to be that knockdown drag.
I think this is going 7.
Yeah, I do too. This is out of all those Western Conference ones. I'm agreeing with you for the most part. I would love to see the Pelicans, I'd love to see them win the series, but I'd hopefully take it to 7. But I think you're right. I think the Blazers will get it in 6. But yeah, Thunder and the Jazz, I can see going 7, and I can't see it going the other way.
My heart wants to say OKC because I want Melo to have success.
Ugh.
My head is saying that I think Utah is going to win, and I think they'll win 4-3.
Jared's going to be very happy with you, mate. Young Jared's a huge Jazz fan.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Jazz in 7.
Yeah.
I think that team chemistry, even though the OKC has the home court, I think that team chemistry and the way they play together for each other will get them over.
I think OKC will probably lose game 1, and I think they'll be chasing
tails.
So it'll be 3-3 come into the last game, and they'll probably choke, and they'll get blown out by 25.
Hopefully.
And Utah will go 3. And I hate saying that, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Fingers crossed. Okay, moving on to the East now.
Yep.
So we've got the Celtics and the Bucks.
Celtics and Bucks. No Kyrie. This changed it. I think.
Because that was the one thing that you could see the Miami Heat and the Bucks were both sort of tanking for that 7th.
Yeah.
Once they knew Kyrie was out for the year, you could see other teams going like, oh shit, can we get the 7th spot, not the 6th?
I think Celtics will probably get through, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be 6 or 7.
Yeah, I was going to say Celtics and 6 for me, just purely because Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's one of those great coaches, and they've got the depth. I mean, depth doesn't mean as much in playoff time because your starters tend to play shitload more minutes.
Yeah.
But I just think the fact that they have a few more options up their sleeve than the Bucks are pretty much come and go as Giannis goes. So.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going down to
Celtics go up. Yeah.
Celtic bus in 6. Yeah.
Yep.
Raptors and Wizards.
Look, I'm on Raptors.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to go all right. I think they're going to be conference finals, which is interesting because they're going to go into Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say they're going to win convincingly.
Yeah.
And it'll be a 4-1.
I reckon it's a 4-1 too. I think Bradley Beal will get the Wizards 1.
Yeah.
Because I love Bradley. I'm not a fan of Jordan Wall, but I do love Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
His work last year in Game 7 against the Celtics in the playoffs was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Cavs and Pacers.
You know what?
This is going to be tougher than I think most people think.
See, I actually disagree. I think LeBron is going to go out there and he's going to have a huge series. I think Ola fucking Peter, whatever his fucking name is, Oladipo, he's going to get one game out of it.
Yep.
But I think Cleveland, and this is what's going to come undone for the fans because they're going to go through and they're going to smash Indiana. They're going to go through 4-1.
All right.
Okay, they're going to go through 4-1 and then they're going to get Toronto and they're going to get dumped.
Ooh, Stephen, you're jumping ahead, Steve.
I know.
Right in the first round today this week.
But that's what I think they are going to beat Indiana. I think they're going to beat them well.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be on LeBron's shoulders. He's going to have a huge series. He's going to be averaging 35 points, 10 assists and 9 rebounds, 2 blocks a game. He's going to have a massive thing, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, you're the GOAT. And then it's all going to come falling down.
Well, I think he's going to do all right. I think probably it's going to be it's bad. I think it'll be close games, but I think it's going to be a Cavs sweep. I think the last time the Cavs LeBron lost the game in the first round was in Miami.
Okay.
Against the Knicks.
Yeah.
And I think Melo had a huge game. That was that Melo J.R. Smith team, Knicks team. That this is the last time that LeBron lost the game. So I know what you're saying. He'll have that dominant first round and everyone will be like, oh my God. And then they actually will have a really tough time with the Raptors. But we're not going to talk about that yet. Okay. We'll stay in the first round.
Yeah.
And then last one, because I'm agreeing with you so far.
Yeah.
I've got the Celtics in 6, the Raptors in 5.
Yeah.
I'm going through the sweep there.
Yeah.
76ers and Heat.
Oh my God. All right.
This is the match I didn't want to see.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the Heat fall to the 7th place and take on the Celtics because I thought they probably got a better chance of beating the Celtics. And because I'm not a big Bucks fan, so I wanted the 76ers to dispose of the Bucks.
Take out the Bucks.
And I really thought Heats and Celtics would be a great series. But we don't have that one. We have 76ers and the Heat, which is really not fair because they're two of my sort of favourite teams out east.
Yeah. And, Miami has got that Dwayne Wade factor.
Yeah.
He's been there, he's done it.
Mm.
That's that's not a tangible, it's not a recordable stat kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's I'm a bit worried. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
I think
Philadelphia's a better team.
that'll give him 2 games. Now
6, you reckon?
Out of 6, I reckon Sixers win it in 6.
Yeah.
But I just think, what you're saying is true. The father prime, having Dwayne Wade, having the guy that's been there, done that, in the big moments.
Yes,
he's always played bigger in the bigger moments, and so that's what's going to be important. Plus the fact that they might not have Embiid for the first, whole first round or the first 4 games. I think he's going to start playing with that mask on.
Okay.
And without having him there and having Whiteside, and that's going to be that could cause some problems for Philly. But fingers crossed. I've got Philly. I think the way they're playing, the team chemistry. And their depth too. Like I said, they've got legitimately good 9 players. So.
Yeah. Well, maybe 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
I'm back in Philly.
And
I want Philly to go through because you know what? I reckon Philly can, if they get through, they can push.
Eastern Conference Finals? Maybe NBA Finals?
I know. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Your predictions have been pretty good so far, Steve. You've been on top of the... You only got 1 wrong in each conference for your playoffs. So
this whole time. We'll see. I can't wait. I'm excited.
You excited?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Well, speaking of excitement, just to harp on a bit that we had last week. Now, I got the shit ripped out of me for confessing my love for Bachelor in Paradise. And I'm sitting on the couch on Monday night, watching Bachelor in Paradise, as you do, on a Monday night. And I get a message on the phone from one Steve Burrows. I'm like, oh, what could this be? I open up the message and, hey, you watching this? Steve? Explain yourself, mate.
All right. Well, look. To be fair, like I explained myself last week, I'm on the couch and I'm commentating it.
Yeah.
But I think it was Jared. I think his name was Jared. Was it Jared? I sent you the message. I'm pretty sure.
No, the pasty one, the redhead one.
Yeah,
no,
the one who's the red
one.
skin one.
Yeah.
And I think
the real wishy-washy guy. Yeah.
He's such a bitch. I think I just had to. I said, if I'm watching this, I gotta. I just talk to someone about it, and I don't actually want to talk to the wife about it because she'll actually want to talk back to me. I just wanted to just get it off my chest that I hated this guy, and I was like, what dude do I know who watches this show? And then I was like...
So Brett's not watching?
No, Brett, I don't think any self-respecting mate was watching that show.
Except for me and you.
It was me and you. I texted you.
Yep.
You know, and then it was funny because we went back and forth a handful of times, and the problem now is that I'm invested. I'm actually now want to know what
That's
happens.
what happened. That's how they hook you. They hook you with like 1 or 2 bad episodes or some sort of quote unquote drama.
Yeah.
Even though you know it's all bullshit, and then you kind of like, I need to see how this plays out.
Exactly. I just want to see what happened. What happened in the end. So,
and I'm loving it because it's just watching girls just fall for every trick in the book.
Dude.
You know, like they had the sleazy Canadian guy on there. He fucking made me laugh. He was such a knob. And yeah, just like the drama with the roses on, was it Wednesday? I didn't see it on Wednesday.
The rose
Steve
ceremony.
had to fill me in with what happened on Wednesday. Some guy gave the wrong girl a rose and then he started crying.
Chaos.
It's like, come on.
And then he's like, a dog, my mate. A dog. Oh, shut the fuck up, man. Yeah. You know what you... Oh, the whole thing, it just wants you to rip your hair out. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I'm glad this is, it's become a thing, Steve. This is another thing that we can share together.
Shit.
Your love of Bachelor in Paradise. Because it might lead to the end of the world.
Yeah, now, speaking of which...
Okay.
Oh, so I was driving into the gym this morning, and I'm listening to this trip. Oh, for fuck. I don't know who the guy who hosts it, but it drives me on the wall. But anyway, Triple M, first thing in the morning, it's a local radio show, and he said, it's Friday the 13th today,
Yep.
when we're recording, and he said, he goes, well, actually, there's some conspiracy theorists out there who believe that April 23
Yep.
is the beginning of the end for Earth. Now, what happens apparently is that the Sun, Jupiter, and Earth all align.
Yep.
And this time, unlike the several times it's happened in the
exactly.
past,
Yeah. We've been waiting for the end of days future.
this time, Planet X, or Nibiru, will appear, and that is the beginning of the end. Also, likely to happen, World War III will start.
Yep.
And then the coming of Christ. So, it's all happening. Get your shit in now, guys, because we've got 10 days before we're all beginning to be judged.
Yep.
And so we got 2 podcasts left.
We got 2. Yeah, we got 2 shows left. That's
So we got 2 weeks to
important.
catch up on your session episodes, boys.
So we need a lot of really quick fixes for Steve's lawn.
Yes,
Because
right.
apparently we've only
I'm not going into the ground knowing that my lawn isn't primo.
Well, you know what? I think this is almost going to be a blessing because you don't have to put up with the winter of the Santa Ana. It's going to be all sunshine until the Santa Ana eventually crumbles with the rest of the
When
universe.
it burns.
Yeah, well, so we're going to have the 4 horsemen coming apparently.
Yeah,
of the apocalypse.
I didn't read into it too much because I was like, my eyes were rolling too far back in my head to read any. Because I'll actually.
So you don't believe that sort of stuff, Steve? Oh, you don't believe in mythical creatures like the boogeyman and Jesus?
Cynical. Are you superstitious?
Superstitious? Yes and no.
What do you do? Anything that's superstitious?
No, probably nothing that I like. I don't know. I just have things that I do a certain way. I'm a little bit OCD about things, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
consider it superstitious.
I'll tell you one thing, and I dare not change it for some odd reason.
Yeah.
But I always put my left sock on before my right sock.
That just could be. I don't know. It's
But
not-
even I meant it's
Yeah.
not like it just happens. I actually mentally think of it, and because I've got like, these white Jordan socks
Yeah.
I go to the gym with, and one's going to L, one's going to R. And if I pick up that R one first,
You put it down?
I'll put it back down
Oh.
and grab the L one.
I was getting a bad day.
I don't know why, man. What a weirdo. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's pretty weird. It's
Do you
everyone.
have anything like that?
Yeah, no, I don't really know. I just,
So you set me up with the bachelor thing.
for me to find 2 pairs of socks in my house is like fucking. That's a mystery. I don't know. I had a shit ton of socks. I had a girlfriend, and now I have no socks. So it's like that South Park, with the underwear gnomes steal the.
I didn't see that.
They steal the underwear. They're like, why are you stealing it? It's like they have the flow chart. 1, steal underwear. 2, 3, profit. Well, what's the middle stage? Like I said, I got socks. Yes, girlfriend. No socks. Like, what happened in that middle stage of girlfriend that I don't have socks anymore? But these things happen. But I've only got 10 more days to worry about it.
That's 10 more days. That's like one more laundry run.
Because we're gonna see Ric Flair and Tully and Arn and Barry Windham. They'll bring out the
Barry
classic.
Windham?
Yeah.
Not Lex Luger.
Nah, not Lex. Nah, I reckon they'll do the Barry, Tully and Arn. Not the Gene and Arn. No, that was
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, the other
Yeah,
Anderson.
I don't want the Anderson brothers. I just want-
Nah.
Yeah, Arn Anderson. I want Ric Flair. I want Tully, and I want Barry Windham, all on
Yeah.
white horses, riding in because that's the real 4 horsemen and the only ones I'll actually believe in because I believe wrestling is more real than anything in that book. So that's just going to be us for this week.
Yeah, I think that's a good note to finish on.
And hopefully, we'll speak to you more than twice. But, if not, stock up, guys, on whatever you need to do. We might throw a few emergency podcasts out there, just in case. Was it Naboo or
Nibiru or something?
Nibiru.
I don't know. It sounds like it's from Star Wars, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nibiru.
In case that comes out and we're in trouble. But that's going to be us for this week, guys. So this is Spico on saying goodbye for Steve Burrows.
See you later.
We'll speak to you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.